All right, let's go. This is a review for the Moondrop Blessing 2 Dusk. This is Blessing 2 V2 collaboration with Crinacle, and the name of it is Dusk. He did another set with Fearless called The Dawn, from Dawn to Dusk. I guess this is the closing of the first chapter of him tuning stuff. It's a good set. I like it. I'll go ahead and get into specifics. Before I do that, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. This is my little spider graph. I have OCD, and this kind of helps me put stuff into perspective. I think let's start with tonality. I think because the bass has been elevated, and I like that because it makes things sound more authentic and faithful to the original, I find the tonality of the Dusk to be superior to the B2. The value, because I like it better than the original, the value is better, unless there's a huge price difference, and I don't think that there is unless you get the etched waifu on it. I think basically they're very close, so I would pick the value of this over the other one because I prefer this one, so that was an easy one. Bass, low frequency, kick drums, 4-string bass, synthesizers on the Eurythmics track. In every situation I preferred the Dusk over the B2. I still have the B2, not the one I had before. I bought it again like I usually do so that I can have stuff that needs to be compared in the future. The bass is clearly better. That's why there's a big gap right there. Mids, the mid bass is elevated, which can sometimes affect the perception of the mids, but on stuff like Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits, there were things that would be impacted by too much mid bass, and they weren't. So I find the mids, because they've got a little bit of more weight to it, and the notes got weight, and I like the effect that the elevated bass has, and it's not really detracting, so I prefer the mids. I like the treble as well because the gain has been slightly lowered just a little bit, but I would prefer to do that, so I prefer the treble. The 2 points where the original B2 might be preferred by some is that it seems like the stage, because the mental emphasis is now you've got a little bit of focus on the bass and the treble, a little more balanced mentally, whereas on the original B2 you're really drawn towards what is a treble dominant set. The bass and the mids were not messed with at all, and the treble was elevated, and your brain would go there, and sometimes that can give the psychoacoustic illusion of more details and space, and it in fact kind of does pan out that way just a little bit. So I would say that the original B2 has a little bit more stage resolution, sometimes related. It seems like there's a little bit more micro details, and that can bring on fatigue in some people, but I think the B2 probably has a little bit more, and that's related to the bass and the overall tonality being just a little bit warmer than the original. So I far prefer this one, actually. So the new one, 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 and then these two things. Res, here's a car going by, so binaural. It's on your right. It's on your back right. Use that. Check the graph real quick. Basically, you take the B2 and you tilt it like this, and you've got the new one. The bass is elevated over the B2. The gain is a little bit less than the original B2. The termination after around 8K is close to the same. It's got a little more drop, but both of these are not doing cymbals in the way that I would like, and I'll get to that later. But that said, I went ahead and asked if I could go ahead and buy this review set off him to keep in my collection, and I PayPal'd, so money talks at the end, and I sent mine. Getting the low frequency, we'll go ahead and start with Marvin Gaye. Where are you at, Marvin? Marvin Gaye. 808 Roland. It's classic. Where are we at? Here we go. Marvin Gaye. Gold. And I got it over here. Sexual Healing. 124 million views. God bless. There is hope. There's some garbage out there. Michael Jackson, You Rock My World has more views. I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston has double. There Is No God. What the fuck? Marvin Gaye, Sexual Healing. Sounds very, very nice on this set. Listen to me while I tell you something. Again, this is the 4th album from Led Zeppelin. This is When the Levee Breaks. Mastered, produced, emphasized kick drum. I don't care if you like kick drums or don't like it. It's an instrument, and high fidelity is faithful reproduction, and high fidelity is also what audiophiles seek out. So the Dusk is more audiophile tuned than the original Blessing 2, because the original Blessing 2 doesn't play this back in the way that it's supposed to be played. Faithful reproduction is what this is all about. And why is a girl group called Zepparella got 17 million views and 17 million? Okay, the remaster's got 18. Okay, all right. That's still too close. Who the hell are these people? Oh, it's 4 chicks. Okay. Sizzle. YouTube. All sizzle, no steak. The Dusk is doing the low frequency events more authentic. You don't need to be a bass head. You need to know instruments and hear them done correctly. If you know a song and the introduction to that song is supposed to have energy and power, whether it's an orchestra, whether it's a jazz piece, whatever it is, if that's slightly subdued, you're going to note it, because it's not the way that you're used to hearing it. That is not audiophile. That's not high fidelity. This is a high fidelity set, more than the original B2 is, with my library. I can't imagine a library that doesn't have intros or moments where that low frequency event, that instrument is supposed to take center stage in the production, and if it's not done right, you're going to notice it. So that drawing away that's not what audiophile is. This is a good set. It does low end very well. Next is going to be Black Sabbath Sweetleaf. So the kick drum is fine. 4-string bass guitar is fine. A good example of something that can be kind of overwhelming is Sweetleaf, and I've got it up on my board over there. The hit on Big Boy, that triple drop, was good. This is not a bass headset by any means, but it was good. It was better than the B2. There we go. Okay. Should be track 1. Sweetleaf. And it is track 1. And we move up. We go to Black Sabbath. And Ozzy's not singing. Tony's not center right now. This guy right here is. Look at the bassist right over there. He's getting busy. He is getting busy. From the 2-minute and 30-second timestamp, like I've got on my board over there, this is a really excellent. It's a rehearsal, but it's pretty much exactly like they did on the original album. It's very faithful to the original. I like that. I don't like when bands go crazy original because they don't like doing the same thing twice. Hey, you fucking artist. I fell in love with what you did. Please do it again for me. They're doing it right here. The bassist getting busy and the drummer getting busy at the same time as tasking the transducer. And if it's not of good quality, it's going to cast a shadow, a haze or a veil across the mids and the rest of the replay. It's not going to be ideal. It's going to, in some cases, sound almost like a blob. If you've got BAs taking care of the low frequency and you've ever tried to boost it up at 55 hertz too much, you'll get what's kind of like a tone out. It sounds like a singular note going through a horn. It's not ideal, and it's not why multi-BA sets are set up. They're supposed to be for monitoring, critical listening. You're not supposed to go bass crazy with that, but because I have, and that's what happens. And when I mention it, somebody that puts together IM said, oh, we have a name in the industry, and he named it. I can't recall what it is. That's what happens when you put a BA past its spec. It's not supposed to do what you're doing with it, and it tells you because of the quality. It's like a diaphragm crinkling or distorting, like you're going past its point. BAs kind of do the same thing. If I'm going past the point with the dynamic driver in the Dusk, it's going to make the entire replay sound lo-fi. That doesn't happen with this set, and it was the moment when I decided to hold on to the tour set and send cash by PayPal to get the next guy his set, because it did that well. And I thought that the Blessing 2 original didn't do the kick drum the way I wanted it to. This set does, and it takes this and does it about the same in clarity, but it sounds more weight. There's more note weight. The speed and the individual notes being played by this man right here on the bass guitar sounds more audible. I can pick it up. The distinct moments for every note sounds there to me, and many times in this hobby, that's not the case. This is doing that very, very well. Next is going to be, let me go ahead and put it right here. This is called Drum Center of Portsmouth. 10 crash cymbals compared. I was going to picture this. I was going to copy it. like screenshot the whole thing so that I give him credit and then embed it in this video. And then I notice he's got 46,000 subscribers and he's probably hungry and he doesn't want people doing that. And I don't want to get a strike. So I'm just going to show this guy to you. Drum Center, Portsmouth. And he's doing 10 crash cymbals compared. Which is best for you? Like, he's talking to drummers. I hope he gets more subscribers. And maybe some drummers who watch my channel already know who this guy is, because he did it with hi-hat comparisons and all of the stuff in a drum kit, it seems. This is interesting for a couple reasons. One, some people have said in the past, you know, you talk about OCD, there's people out there that suffer from that, and you talk about it very casually. And I think to myself, what is it about me that makes you think that I wasn't the person at a younger age that sat in front of a person with a list and a piece of paper telling me something that I thought was really, really, really bad, and then when they said it, I thought, I don't care. Like, and that's pretty much what that is. So that's me. That's why I repeat myself 10 to 15 to 20 times. I listen to music in the same way, and if something doesn't sound correct, I listen again, and I listen again, and I listen again, and I listen again, and I listen again. That's why I got timestamps on this piece of paper all the time, and I talk about them. That's why there's a big board with colors with second timestamps for you to listen to at your leisure at any time to think, I don't agree with what that person's saying. I guess we disagree, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about heights and depths and layering and any of that stuff. I'm talking about instruments in music and moments in that music that I find to be appealing or not. Listening to this guy, what's this dude tangenting for? I thought when he was hitting one of these that I instantly was reminded of Someone Saved My Life Tonight by Elton John. Dun 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 dun. Instantly I thought I heard that when he was striking one of these. I got it off, so I'll just let him. He's going through the same cycle again and again. It's hard to tell when he changes because he puts his head in the same spot when he switches the camera, unless somebody else, I didn't even think about that, somebody else is helping him. What, see right here? He's going to switch. Look at his head. Oh, it's almost the same spot. Somebody's got to be helping him. Anyway, the other song that I thought I heard was song triggered by a cymbal strike. We're an American band by Grand Funk Railroad, not the hi-hat and the cowbell intro, the iconic intro. I'm talking about the outro. The cymbal strike in the outro is very memorable to me. One of the ones that he played in here sounded just like that. This set has to have a weak point, as every set does, and this, in fact, has a weak point, and it's the cymbal life and death. The beginning of the cymbal, when it is struck and when the sound to your ear is completely tailed off, it's death. Everything in between it is the life of the cymbal. Some people say, who cares? I do. I do a lot, so I write it down, because sometimes it sounds fucking perfect, and other times it sounds everything but fucking perfect. This right here is about 8 or 9 kilohertz on the scale, and then it drops. And this region is being taken care of by BAs. And I'm noticing that ESTs, when done correctly, can have a scale. I would prefer that around where the mids are, right here, is about where the fall off stops, and then it continues out. And the Moondrop Blessing single dynamic driver, which is right over there, I fucking love that set. I think it's handling a little different. I should have pulled up that graph. This has a notable, not ideal cymbal strikes for me. And remember, this is library. If you listen to orchestra music, I think jazz has got cymbals. I know it does, actually, because Ginger Baker used to do drum battles with famous jazz drummers, because jazz drummers are fucking dope. Really, really dope. And Ginger Baker was nuts, so he would challenge these people. He did albums of challenges with jazz drummers. Ginger Baker was nuts. Anyway, the cymbal strike, life and death, is not ideal for me, but it's not a deal breaker. And again, it's related to my library. And if you listen to different genres, like Massive Attack, or that's less of an important point to the tracks than the library that I listen to. So what I find is a ding is something that a person that listens to different music might not even care about. I don't know that Vocaloid or stuff like that even really uses real cymbals, where they might just be something that's a slide or a button on a deck. It's not that big a deal for me and what I listen to and my timestamps, and it is a big deal because that Tin Man triangle strike at 39 seconds I can tell about where the dip is because of how much that is distant or present. And cymbal strikes at 27 second on Blind Faith Can't Find My Way Home will do the same thing for me. It'll give me an indication that this area past 8K is maybe a little bit down. On this set it is. So the low frequency, the bass is great. Mid bass is good, doesn't get in the way of the quality of the mids. The mids are good. The early treble is actually fine. The only issue I have with this would be the late treble, and it's related to a single instrument, but because that's my thing, that's what I do, I would point that out with any set, and so I will with this. I didn't like the original Blessing 2 that much, but I could see how some people did. I can see more people liking the Dusk because it does everything just a little bit better. The bass sounds better. It's more accurate to my ears. Audiophile, high fidelity. The mids sound good quality like prior. I think the treble's done better, and both of these sets are not maybe the rock and roll excellent best way. I would prefer the Illumination for rock and roll. And that's a single driver. The Illumination is the shit, man. It's a very good set. I can't believe that doesn't get more fucking love. So thank you to Crinacle for sending this. He put me first on the list to send to other people. I listened to it. I thought it was good. I listened to other stuff. I thought it was good. I'm going to pass it off. I'm going to put it in a sale. And then I thought, I better keep that. You know what I mean? Like, I better keep that. There's going to be other stuff coming out. People are going to say, well, how does it compare? It would behoove me to have the good stuff in my collection. So, good set. Do I wreck it? I wreck you. Wait for more reviews and get a better grasp, because my library and the music that I listen to might not speak to you. Black Sabbath might not tell you shit. Bob Marley might not tell you crap. Led Zeppelin might not tell you shit. The Grateful Dead, all the music I listen to might not speak to you, and music is everything because it's the context. When someone's talking about space or low frequency or impact, what are they talking about? Are they talking about a Daz Dillinger 1995 West Coast Death Row mixed bass hit? Are they talking about a 4-string bass guitar by the Violent Femmes, a live acoustic version? What are they talking about? Lack of impact or opposite? Context. It's the music. That's why I always talk about it. Very nice job. Not a fan of the waifu stuff, but live and let live. You know what I mean? Like what you like. I'm sure there's a lot of people that aren't fans of whatever I do. You know, dolphins. You don't like dolphins? Sorry. There's a dolphin. There's another dolphin. They mock you. And I'm out. You guys, hope you had a Merry Christmas. New Year's coming. Also, oh, he's still going. Drum Center of Portsmouth. I will have pictures of this set up on my Twitter, and I'll also have an event going where somebody's going to win a Blessing 2. That's why I had to buy another one. And also a Monarch by Thea Audio and another Sony IR Z1R. That's a big fucking... That's one person's S-tier item. That's my S-tier item on another one, plus a very good new set. A lot of winning. You should get involved with that. I'll have a link under my video. And I am... out. Happy New Year if I don't do another video. And thank you again to Crinacle. And I'm out.